What is going on, Sideline Cancer Nation? I am your host, Andrew Wade. We are joined by Albert Varacallo III. Albert, it is fantastic to meet you and have you on the show today. We've been doing these player preview series for the last couple of weeks, so it's an honor to have you on. And I think as when this show is actually dropping, you have just recently been announced
Yeah,
as the newest member of Sideline Cancer. So we'll just kick it off, though. First, how are you doing today, man?
I'm doing great. It's actually a nice day here, and I'm from DuBois, Pennsylvania. So we're getting some good weather, and it's nice to have kind of a weekend off and relax.
Absolutely. Where is DuBois located at in Pennsylvania?
So it's always funny, and I just talked about this with someone, and they said we're about 30 minutes outside of where Punxsutawney Phil is. So Punxsutawney, PA. Everyone knows the weather capital of the world, and then also we're a good hour from State College area. So
Okay.
everyone knows Penn State University. So we're somewhere in between there, Central PA.
Nice. Okay, yeah. I had a customer out in Pittsburgh, and what I did not realize about Pennsylvania is actually how beautiful Pennsylvania actually is. I mean, it's a magnificent state. I think it's underrated, definitely, in my
Yes.
my opinion.
And it also depends on what season you're in, because those
Yes.
winters get a little harsh, but overall, yeah, PA is great.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I loved Pittsburgh. I thought it was great, and I've driven through the state a couple times and absolutely loved it. So as of today, you are announced as the newest member of Sideline Cancer. So again, congratulations on that. How did that all come about?
So it's funny. I mean, it's kind of a long story, and I guess we can kind of get into this. But I knew Billy Clapper from my early days when I used to train at the Altoona Summit. Billy's probably 5 or 6 years older than I am, and he was training with a guy named his last name was Swagger. So everyone kind of went to this one guy, did some training in Altoona. I'm working my way up through in middle school, and this Billy Clapper is just great guy, just doing these drills. Everyone's kind of amazed at him, and so I know Billy from way back when. So then as I'm going up through, I finished my college career, get into some of the semi-pro minor leagues, and I'm looking to get involved in some professional basketball. And I saw that they're involved in the basketball tournament. This was probably about 2 or 3 years of when Sideline Cancer had kind of already started playing, and their team was already full. So I kind of had my eye on Sideline Cancer for a while. So I ended up starting my own team called the DuBois Dream. We ended up getting in TBT 3 straight years. We ended up forming a relationship with Sideline Cancer. Brought them in for a charity game after our first couple TBTs, and then we just kept that relationship and kept that door open, and we all kind of had an idea that we were going to partner up in the future. So it's an unfortunate background, but my mother actually got diagnosed with pancreatic cancer this past year. So she got diagnosed. I called on Kathy and Jordan and all them because they had a bunch of background on it, and unfortunately she passed. That's why I got the mom over my heart right here. It's kind of I
Yep.
wear purple all the time, and we've had some conversation. It just turned into, hey, you guys want to do it this year? You just want to team up, and just all the pieces fell into place. So I'm excited to be a part of Sideline Cancer, and we're definitely playing for something bigger than basketball. And I know that's what they always say. So it's an honor to be a part of Sideline Cancer this year. I'm really excited to kind of help them grow, and they're definitely helping, push my mom's story forward right now.
Yeah, well, first I want to say condolences to your
Thank you.
loss. Yeah, I can't imagine going through that, but obviously trying to turn whatever you can into a positive and trying to
Yeah.
spread the message and continue the fight for pancreatic cancer, which I think is what we're all doing here, right? With Sideline
Yes.
Cancer, the goal is to continue to spread that message. And um, so far in the TBT, I feel like Sideline Cancer has definitely been doing that. They've steadily
Yep.
grown since their initiation of the tournament, making a championship game. They have a very good team getting together this year, including yourself. And there's an opportunity to win a championship this year, which is pretty exciting.
Yes. Yes, definitely. I mean, I like everything that they put together up to this point, and then now it just seems like the perfect time. I think all the chips are being pushed in, and I think it's the perfect time, and they're doing it the right way, and they've always done it the right way. But now it's like let's take this up a notch, and like I said, I'm honored to be a part of this, and it's nice just to kind of push my mom's legacy forward through Sideline Cancer, who they went through this. Jordan and Kathy and their family went through this 10 to 12 years ago. So it's crazy how things kind of come full circle.
Yeah. So I was going to talk a little bit about DuBois Dream, but I want to hit on the Sideline Cancer piece.
Yeah.
What does that? I mean, what does that mission and the goals mean to you? What are your ultimate goals long term with being a part of Sideline Cancer for you? Obviously, it's pushing your mom's
Yeah.
story forward, but what is there a bigger message outside of that too as well?
I think there is, like there always is, and the conversations are so it's just a wide range. Whenever I talk with Jordan, Kathy, Billy, everyone a part of it, Charlie, Matt Crawford.
Yeah.
It's just, how can we spread awareness and how can we do it? And we all have this common passion of basketball, and it's a nice tool. It's a nice vehicle to push this message forward of how do we bring awareness to pancreatic cancer, because it's not flashy. It's not anything like it's pretty brutal. And Kathy describes it as a viper. And unfortunately, I saw it firsthand, and I've seen it firsthand. And I looked at her and I said, I didn't get it at first, but I get it now. And I see why they have so much passion for it. And this basketball thing is just a great way to just get that awareness out there and use it as a tool and a vehicle to just spread this awareness and provide hope. And we did a great camp. It was actually on Friday. We did a kids camp, and we had 60, 70 plus, kids 13 and under. Then we had another 20 plus kids, high school and up. All being a part of this Sideline Cancer Dream Clinic, we called it, just meshing the two together. And, Kathy's out there talking about the I can attitude and the hope and belief. And it's amazing to see her 10 plus years later, still with that same passion. And I see why. I do. It's just, you have to have that driving force, and you need hope, and basketball and TBT and everything all together helps provide that. So, like I said, I can't be more grateful just to be a part of this organization and help push that message forward in my way with everything that's happened to me.
Absolutely. And I think I read somewhere where it's like 9% of people with the prognosis of pancreatic cancer are able to extend their lives for more than 5 years. I mean, that's absurd.
Yes, it is absurd. And, seeing it this past year, it's, as soon as you say, when we said it ourselves, like, our mom got pancreatic cancer, everyone's just, I'm so sorry. Like, it's kind of like a death sentence. And it's unfortunate. And I never really look at it like a loss for my mom, because the fact that she even lasted the way she did as she was progressing along, she was a fighter, and you need to be a fighter. And everyone who continues on with a legacy needs to fight. And that's what I just love about Sideline Cancer is they continue to fight no matter what happens. They're knocking on the door of that championship, fighting for that championship in 2020. And then I feel like this is a special year, and I really feel like it can happen this year to push through and really take that Sideline Cancer message to a whole new level.
Couldn't agree more. Man, just I have like chills like listening to you kind of speak about some of this stuff, to see kind of the passion that you clearly have for
Yeah.
obviously Sideline Cancer, but the bigger mission, which is hoping to eventually solve pancreatic cancer, and
Yes.
or lessen the impact of it to people around the country and the world. Um, I do want to talk a little about DuBois Dream, because you
Yeah.
started this team slash, it seems like it's a semi-pro team, but also you have youth clinics and
Yep.
really kind of a cool system you have going on in DuBois. How did that come about for you?
Yeah, and I kind of hinted at it earlier of, I reached out to Billy Clapper, and they already had a full roster and stuff like that back in 2016. So for me, I'm the type of person that's just like, if one door closed, like, I'm going to go open another one. So for me, it was, I had moved back to DuBois. I was doing some semi-pro minor league stuff in Pittsburgh. I was like, I'm going to throw my hat in the ring here and just see what happens. So I started pushing this message of DuBois Dream. And at the time it was actually in honor of my father. So he was tragically killed right when I graduated college back in 2010. He was hit. He was riding on his bicycle, and it was an unfortunate situation there too. So I tried to spread his message and his foundation, and my mom was like a rock and a big part of that, like being a part of this TBT team. So we ended up getting the votes. That was back when TBT had the voting system,
Yep.
and we were at the top of the voting list. And we're a small town in central Pennsylvania,
Yeah.
and we're getting all these votes, and we're pushing this out there, and just went well. So, we get in TBT, we play the number one overall seed, which was City of Gods, who had a bunch of former NBA draft picks, and we did pretty well. We got some local guys, some guys in the Pittsburgh area. We battled. We were up in the first half, just couldn't break through. Then the next year, I had some people reaching out, when's the DuBois Dream play again? So I put this dream together, and I was like, we're just in a tournament on ESPN. That's all it really was. Like, I don't really have any plan. But with my previous background in Pittsburgh, playing in the minor league semi-pro realm, I was like, maybe I can throw together a team. So they're this premier basketball league. I put together an organization in there. Word started spreading. I mean, we're not a big town in our area. Our final game, we ended up having close to 1,200 or so people at our final game. Just packed this gym in DuBois. I was like, we're on to something. So then it builds into the next year TBT, and then another PBL season. Then people start asking, hey, do you ever think about getting into AAU youth basketball? I was like, you know what? I'll try it. Like, again, another thing, I'm just like, I'll just try it out. So I ended up keep working and building, and now we're 6 years in doing this minor league basketball AAU youth organization stuff. But the missing piece was always TBT. Just kind of took us to a whole new level nationally. And over the past few years, when TBT got that much bigger, we kind of got lost in the shuffle and couldn't really find our way back in. So this is a way for us to tie them both back in. Sideline Cancer has a very similar mission that we do, just providing some great things for the youth and the community and a bigger message, bigger than basketball. So again, like, it's just kind of the perfect storm for us to team up and collaborate. So everything I've built with the DuBois Dream can get added on to Sideline Cancer. And I'm really excited. Like, just even seeing this past Friday with all the kids just in there pushing this message of Sideline Cancer who have been a part of the DuBois Dream. I don't know. It's really cool to just see this start coming together after I'd reach out to Billy way back when, and then now it comes full circle, and just getting to know Jordan and Kathy. Just, as you know, they're just great people,
Mhm.
and you can never have too many good people in your corner and teaming up with.
Absolutely. That is such an incredible story. I really appreciate the fact that you're like, if something isn't going to work, I'm going to do it myself. If there's
Yeah,
not an opening here, I'm going to find an opening there. And I
yeah.
think that's a message that people can take away, not just in basketball, but in life in general, and a lot of other aspects of things. I think it's a really important message people understand. So,
Yeah, and as you even see, like with TBT, it gives these underdogs a chance to fight on the big stage. Like, small town of DuBois, that's me. I'm a small town of DuBois. I went to, I was on Division II roster, then ended up transferring Division III, playing well. But like, these are completely new levels. So when we're in it and we're playing Bayheim's Army, and I'm matched up against CJ Fair, it's like, it's just a whole new level, and it's a really cool story. And then when that was my best game, I ended up having 26 against the Bayheim's Army, and I'm just like, wow, you can really compete at this level if you put in the work. But back in the day, I don't know if I ever would have thought that, but this TBT platform provides so much for so many people, and I'm just excited to be back in TBT and just with the right organization and Sideline Cancer. So let me just help this stuff push forward. I'm gonna, as you are, I'm sure too, Andrew, because
yeah.
the podcast stuff, I just get a good vibe from you. It's you just keep pushing forward, and things just seem to work out in the end.
I appreciate that. Yeah, no, it's crazy to see how much TBT has grown, even in the
Yes.
last like 10 years. The 10 years since it started. I mean, it has really become a whole new animal. I've been talking to a lot of my friends. They love watching TBT now. It wasn't even something that was
Yep.
on their radar 4 years ago. I took a buddy down to Wichita to watch Iowa United, the team that Matt put
Yep.
together.
Yep.
And my buddy was like, "What is this?"
Yeah.
Wichita was just bumping, and like we watched Sideline Cancer versus Kansas. He's a huge Kansas fan. Sideline Cancer took down Kansas, and he's like, "What is going on? Like,
Yeah.
who is this Sideline Cancer team? Why is this arena sound more packed than any college arena I've ever
Yeah.
been in?"
Yeah.
And that was that was 4 years ago, and with TBT being the first real live sports in America
Yep.
in the COVID area, I mean, or COVID era, that it's been incredible seeing the rise of TBT, and obviously with Sideline Cancer growing very rapidly, with you being able to join DuBois Dream to that, I think it's pretty cool to see those missions align.
Yeah, I mean, I love it. You talk, I mean, right at the heart of it. Like, I love TBT, and we kind of got squeezed out in a sense as the DuBois Dream goes, but they continue to push it forward. Like, they have a new thing each year, and this Rucker Park thing is gonna be really cool.
Yeah.
I know I'm excited just to be a part of these. I know it's gonna be packed in Xavier, so just another way to just end up seeing what happens. It's a March Madness in the summer, and TBT continues to do a great job. So I'm definitely excited for this summer.
Yeah, pretty incredible stuff. It's gonna be a pretty loaded regional, I
Yeah.
believe, at the Xavier. So it's gonna be a lot of fun seeing what Sideline Cancer can do there. If Sideline Cancer can get out of that, uh, it should be, all ships are sailing pretty fast. So that should be pretty awesome to see.
Yeah, I like to see. I mean, we have this group message together. It's just, it's nice, like putting together the roster and seeing how it's all coming together. Obviously, I'm honored to be a part of this. I kind of represent the basketball side of the things, as well as having the personal experience with pancreatic cancer. It just all kind of ties in together. But the roster we put together, it's just so high level. Like, some of the names that have been thrown out there already, it's like they're just not the right fit. It's not that they're not good. It's just these guys are legitimate basketball players. So the roster is definitely going to be able to compete with whoever. And then you combine this belief and this I can attitude. And I don't know, like you're saying, if we as Sideline Cancer get out of this region, I don't. I mean, I think you're pretty well tested to take it the whole way.
Absolutely. It's a pretty incredible roster. So I have some familiarity with Mike Dom and obviously Nick McGlynn.
Yeah.
when obviously Nick went to Drake. I'm a Drake alum and interviewed him for the Iowa United. Talked to Mike Dom when he was going to be on the Iowa United as well. But dude, I'm excited for this roster. I'm super excited for July to see Sideline Cancer do some damage in TBT. So I did want to ask you a couple easy questions, nothing too crazy.
Okay.
Some superlatives. What is your favorite superhero, Albert?
Oh, that's a great question. I like it because my little nephew was always obsessed with kind of like Spider-Man. So I started like kind of getting into Spider-Man and things like that. But my favorite, obviously, movie has been like Batman. That whole Batman series. Like Batman may be my favorite superhero. Just he's kind of an average guy in a sense, but he does some great things. And I've always enjoyed their movies. So I'm always locked in when I watch the Batman series.
Have you seen the latest Batman?
I haven't. See, that's the one I definitely need to get to. Obviously, life has gotten a little hectic for me, but
Yeah,
that's the next one on my list to definitely watch.
I will say it's not my favorite Batman. It's
Okay.
decent, but it just I struggle with Edward Cullen being the Batman. You know what I mean? It's just little
Kind of
bit
the
different.
background on that one. And
Yeah.
nothing, I don't know if any of them will ever top, with
Oh
Joker,
gosh.
Heath Ledger. So,
Yeah. That was truly one of the best movies ever
yes.
made. I think I can stand by that as a top 20. I mean, it was incredible, and he did such a phenomenal job.
Yep.
And Christian Bale was such a phenomenal Batman.
Yeah.
So it's tough to top that. What is the song you're listening to before a basketball game?
Oh, I have a bunch of different ones. I kind of really got into like the Christian rap and hip hop artists. So like Lecrae is always a go to. So like he has some other songs like coming out like 10 Toes. Like he has some really like things that'll pump me up. So I really got into that realm. So something Lecrae is definitely a good one for me.
Okay, okay, I like that. And then outside of basketball, you're practicing law, correct?
Yes, yeah.
What type of law are you practicing?
So I get into a lot of estates and estate planning, real estate, and then the small business nonprofit realm. I really like that area because you can kind of see something start from the ground up, kind of like what I built with the DuBois Dream, seeing it
Yeah,
happen with Sideline Cancer. I like helping people. Like, here's how you get started. This is something that you can get moving going forward, and a lot of times just hard work. Hard work's undefeated. So seeing them when I help them get started in a small business, and then they can end up flourishing, it's like such a cool feeling to see that. Just be like, I saw that from the very start. So I get into that, and I'm looking to branch off a little more into sports law, and I get that with my semi-pro youth basketball background. So we'll see what ends up happening in the future. But yeah, law is definitely another passion of mine.
yeah, nice convergence of paths here. If you can combine the sports, the
Yep.
law, utilize that in a basketball form. I mean, that's pretty much everything you really seem to enjoy, which would be awesome to see.
Yes, yes, you're spot on with that one. And at one point, I wanted to be an agent, but I don't know if I have that same grind that some of these other agents do. They have something, and someone like a Matt Crawford or even yourself, these players, just those connections go a long way, and just that personal experience and just getting to know guys, it's cool to see. So we'll end up seeing what happens in the future.
Yeah. It's funny you say that. I actually went to, and this is not about me, but I went to Drake originally to do 3v3 law program because I wanted to be a sports agent as
Oh
well.
wow,
And I got to Drake, and literally the first day I was like, I don't even like the idea of going to law school. And so I just like changed my major entirely the very first day. But I always thought about that. Like the idea of being a sports agent would be so cool. And it's still such a cool
yes,
concept. But you're right. The grind
yes.
to get into it is so difficult and so challenging and so tough. Again, not that that's something you wouldn't be able to get into. It is very difficult. It seems like it's a tough thing, but as you've kind of
Yeah.
made note of different challenges in your life, you have found ways to get your foot in the door regardless.
Yeah, you really need to be all in. And as I've been continuing on with this basketball side of things, I really have a passion for more like the youth side of things
Hmm.
and seeing that build and grow. And it just kind of gives me some more energy.
Yeah.
I kind of let the other guys do their thing, and then on my end, I like helping build up the youth stuff, and just really it brings a smile on my face. It really does.
Yeah, I heard. So I'm a huge Iowa fan, and Fran McCaffrey is originally from the Philly area.
Okay.
And I've been doing some stories about Fran McCaffrey. They've always talked about how Fran and the Philly type of basketball. I don't think people realize there's like a style of basketball played in Pennsylvania and like in the
Yeah.
Philly area specifically that is just a very different brand of basketball. A lot of talent in that area.
Yeah, yeah, we went out for a Red Bull 3-on-3, 3x3 out in Philly, and it was funny to see. You can tell immediately when you go in there, you can tell the Philly basketball players because we're outside of Philly and all that,
Yeah.
and we get kind of Pittsburgh's about 2 hours away from us. Philly's about 4 hours away. So when
Okay.
you go to these different cities and stuff, it's cool to see the different type of basketball they play.
Yeah. Absolutely, man. All right, sorry, I kind of got sidetracked there. I was just curious about the law thing. I was
Yeah, yeah.
checking out your LinkedIn profile to learn a little more about you. But what is your favorite food item?
So I tell you what, I could eat cereal any time of the day. I mean, it's just it's kind of an obsession, and a lot of times, especially when I'm getting into training and got to lock in, I got to stay away from the cereal. But I could eat it breakfast, lunch, dinner, after every meal. I don't know what it is. I have this s'more cereal that just I could eat a whole
Dude,
box in one sitting.
me too.
You like that s'more cereal?
I have it upstairs right now. Yeah.
I knew we had some type of connection. We had a vibe
Yeah.
going. So yeah, s'more cereal. It's upstairs for me too. But I'm gonna have to give that up here. Coming up on TBT.
Yeah, I legitimately I have to stop myself from eating cereal in the morning because what I've learned is like if I eat cereal in the morning, I'm hungry like an hour and a half
Yes.
later, and I
Yeah.
eat even more. And like
Yep.
I did some research and like all the sugar that's in the cereal is like obviously is not good for
Not
you,
good. Yeah, not good
and
at all.
especially in the morning. So I'm like I had to refrain myself. I usually have cereal as like a mid afternoon snack, like the
There you
2 to 3
go.
time frame. And I've like tried to get into Cheerios, but man,
Yep.
like anything with marshmallows and the s'more cereal, like
So
oh
you got the
man,
s'mores too. Yeah, that's
uh,
so funny because I didn't know anybody else that really liked it that much. But for me, I was like, my go-to s'mores cereal. Give me that. I'll eat a whole box. Like I'll go up there. I
yeah.
could eat the whole box right now.
It's so good. Okay, so I gotta ask, what kind of milk and this is a super what kind of milk do you like in your cereal?
So I gotta tell you, as I was going into college, I started having a kind of an intolerance for milk. One of the
Oh,
saddest days
man.
I've ever had. So I'm still obsessed with cereal. But if I want to eat that much, I gotta stay away from the milk. So I'll just eat it plain sometimes. Like, or
It
I'll
is
go into
pretty
like
good.
the Fairlife or something like that. I'll have some
Yeah.
off brand, but I can't have too much of that. So it was a sad day, but I found an alternative. And sometimes I'll just eat the cereal dry. I'm just that obsessed.
Dude, it is very good. Like, I've done that as well too. I'm like, I drink whole milk, so
Okay.
I'm like, if I'm eating cereal with whole milk, I'm like, this is a really bad snack for me. So if I just had the cereal, maybe it's like calming it down a little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah. There you go.
That's funny. My last question for you, and I ask this to everyone, is do you like pineapple on your pizza?
Oh man, no. So that goes back to even when I was a kid. It was we had our neighbors babysitting us, and I'll never forget opening up that pizza. They like pineapple on their pizza. I tried it one time. I haven't gone back since. So keep
Dude,
the pineapple away. I'll eat it plain, but don't put that pineapple on my pizza.
same. Yeah, pineapple is terrible, and I'm shocked at how many people actually answer that question as yes. I just don't.
Oh
If
well,
you're eating pizza, why are you putting fruit on it? I don't get it.
we'll sprinkle the cereal on the pizza before we eat the pineapple, right?
That'd be way like a dessert pizza with just like a bunch of s'more cereal, just like all over top, like some cinnamon. Oh my gosh, yeah, that sounds freaking awesome, Albert. I've really appreciated talking to you, man. Obviously, we have a lot more in common. I think we realized before we
Yeah.
started this conversation, which I love. Any last words you want to say for the Sideline Cancer fans out there?
No, just get ready to root for a great team, great players, and just a great organization. Honored to be a part of it. Just if everyone can kind of send some prayers up for all those battling pancreatic cancer. I know what my family went through with my mom and all that. And like I said, it's just an honor to be a part of Sideline Cancer and help spread that message and just help my mom's legacy live on through this.
Absolutely. And make sure you go follow Albert. His Instagram handle is down there below if you're watching this on YouTube. Obviously, make sure to like and subscribe to us on YouTube as well at Sideline Cancer TBT. Albert, it's been a pleasure, my man. Good luck in the TBT. I'm super excited to root for Sideline Cancer, and we'll talk later, buddy.
Sounds good. Thanks, Andrew.